Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be looking at Red Bull KTM's Tom Vialle, his gnarly crash at Washougal, and his injury update. We'll then take a look at Star Yamaha's announcement of Eli Tomac's 2024 contract extension, finally. Then we'll head over to the MXGP series and take a look at an injury update from former red plate holder and newly crowned race winner, Kay De Wolf. Before we get into that news, we have a special guest today, and that is the MX2 phenom and rookie, Rick Elzinga. Before I get into all that, head to the MXNetwork.com or click the link in the description. Go grab a magazine or two. As you'll know, I did a full restock on the site. It's on sale still for $2.99. It's not going to last long, so if you want to get it for half off, do it now. Thanks to all of you guys who already did. Let's get right into today's special guest. All right, today's special guest is none other than the Monster Energy Yamaha MX2 rider himself, Rick Elzinga. How you doing, man? For those of my viewers who may not know who you are, could you introduce yourself quick? Tell us a bit about yourself in case they don't know.
Hi everybody. Thanks for having me. Like you said, I'm Rick Elzinga, riding for the Factory Yamaha team. And I am the defending EMX 250 champ, the European champ, and I'm racing MX2 GPs this year.
Yeah, it's your rookie season in the MX2 class, and you've been kind of killing it, man, besides missing a couple races, but we'll get into that. So, yeah, your rookie season, we talked about it before. It got off to a great start. I mean, 5th at your first round, which is still your career best. But after that, you kind of stayed consistent, running around that top 10 group. Unfortunately, a few races into the series, you broke your collarbone. Now, how was the recovery process on that, and what was the mental struggle of, like, getting knocked out of the series a few races in?
Well, to be honest, I didn't have that much stress at the beginning when I broke it, but I had a complication later on. Like, usually when you put on a plate, it's about a week to 10 days, then you can start riding again already. And about day 6, 7, I was doing some physio exercises, and then the plate broke, so I had to redo my surgery. And then things got a bit complicated. My body didn't like the second surgery, and just some complicated stuff. Got sick, most likely from all the surgery and all the stuff they put in me. But instead of about 10 days, it was about a month I was out, so that was a bit unlucky. But that was the most difficult part about it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it really sucked in the first place, and then for that to happen, and the illness and all that, added on top of it, it had to hurt. You ended up returning in Germany, I believe, off the bike for about a month. So you ended up going 18, 11 for 15th overall once you returned to Germany, which isn't the best, but that's pretty good for just coming back after all that. So what was this race like for you? Were you still a bit weak from the collarbone, or what happened there?
Well, I think I did about 3 days of riding before I went in Germany, and to be honest, I just wanted to have a race before I had to go in Indonesia, because you go all the way there, so you want to be a bit prepared. So I took it as just mostly preparation. Just had some crashes and tip overs, but and was just not that fit. Just you couldn't feel the surgery was still a bit in the body, you know, just getting tired really early in the motos and that kind of stuff. But I think it did good for me to do a race before flying all the way to Indonesia. So that was the main thing why I raced it. But I could have been better, could have been worse, I would say.
Yeah, so you kind of used the MXGP of Germany as a professional practice event.
Yeah, kind of. Yes.
So on to the Indonesian rounds. You seemed like you finally found your flow after that again, getting back to where you were, finishing 12th in Sumbawa and 11th in Lombok. Now, that's kind of your average finishing position, so you seem normal. What changed from Germany to those? Just experience, time on the bike, or what happened there?
Mostly it was just my body was getting better and better, and just some riding time on the bike. I wasn't fit in both of the rounds. The first round I got sick before we left to Indonesia. And the second round, like most riders had, was just some kind of sickness you just pick up over there, which is quite hard to avoid.
Yeah.
A lot of riders were sick, but yeah, I was one of the unlucky riders that had it as well. But yeah, for me it was an experience. You can't compare it to riding in Europe. The heat, especially the humidity, was really immense, and yeah, just the overall vibe you get over there is a bit different because yeah, you go all the way there to another place in the world, and yeah, it took some time to get used to it, but it definitely was a cool experience to do.
Absolutely. Now, you did mention the illnesses. A lot of riders, like a lot. I'd say, from what I counted, probably 10 of the top guys ended up getting sick there. Would you be...
Yeah.
Are you kind of against going to Indonesia? Because like you said, a lot of the guys said it's almost impossible to avoid getting sick there with the food and the water and stuff like that. So would you be against going back there?
Well, I'm not against it, but in my opinion, this year the MXGP have been doing a bit better. They have helped a lot of teams as well to go there, if I'm right. But especially the first race we had it wasn't like a touristic place. It was just like in the middle of Indonesia, where they don't even know what a tourist is, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have nothing there. You need to live how they live, and it's so much difference. You can't even find your normal foods in the supermarket. So it's quite hard to adjust and to be fit for the races in that heat. So yeah, that was the hardest part. And then the second race was a bit better because there were a lot of like big hotels close to the sea where we went the second race, and then yeah, so it was a bit more like a touristic place, so it was a bit more safe in my opinion to stay there.
All right, yeah. So I got one more odd question for you before we get into Lommel. So I think it was Lewis Phillips. I'm sure you know who Lewis Phillips is. He interviewed
Yes.
David Luongo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's like the FIM guy for MXGP, correct?
Yeah. David Lungo.
He's tried to get it out of him if they were going to try to come to America for once, and I don't even know how many years they haven't come to America, but he pretty much said absolutely not. Would you want to come to America? I feel like a lot of GP guys want to come to America, and they just, I don't know what the reason is, they don't ever come here anymore.
Well, I would love to actually. I've raced a couple of AMAs in the past, and I really I love the place, and I love the US as well. So, in my opinion, it would be one of the coolest races of the year. Something to look forward to, in my opinion, if there is a US round. But yeah, we can just hope that there will be a nice race somewhere in the US.
Yeah, I hope, man. I have only gone to Motocross of Nations in person. I actually haven't gone to an MXGP overseas yet. But hopefully they come over here so I don't have to fly all the way across the world to see you guys race in person. All right.
Yeah, that will be good. I
So,
think the last one was in WW range.
yeah, in
if I'm
Florida.
right.
I think that was 2018, 2017, somewhere around there.
Yeah, quite a long time ago already.
Yeah,
actually.
that's pretty crazy.
5-6 years. There are many motocross fans also in the US, of course. You
Oh,
have
I
your
know.
own series, but
There's
the world of motocross is quite big over there.
absolutely motocross is giant here, and the fact that the World Championship doesn't come here kind of irritates me. But that's their decision, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Lommel, you killed it. You're finally up to where you were at the beginning of the season. You went 9-5 for 6th overall, which is just one spot off your career best. You seemed a lot different. Not a lot different, but you seem more comfortable at Lommel. Why do you think this is? Why do you think you were more successful here? Is the fitness is back? You like the sand? What was it?
Well, yeah, this year for me has been a bit of a just struggle fest all around, in my opinion. And lately I've been just doing all the work. I am off and on the bike, and I feel like I've been making a lot of steps, and until now the results haven't been showing it yet, but yeah, in Lommel it finally came together. Got a good start, and ran up front for a little bit and finished quite well also. Of course, there are some riders injured, but I will take the 6th overall and then hope to keep on going on this way.
Absolutely. With that being said, every weekend you gain experience and you're showing that you can run with those top guys more and more. What would be your goal for the remainder of the year? Do you have a certain position you want to be in every weekend or a championship position you seek at the end of the year? Just experience. What's your goal?
Right now I'm 11th in the championship and I'm about 25 points behind 10th. So I would like to get into the top 10 before the end of the season, but it will depend on my results coming races. And for the rest, I just would like to run up front a bit like I did in normal, be around the 5th, 6th place and gain more experience riding up front. That's the most ideal what I'm looking for right now.
Absolutely, man. I see you being a top guy, podium contender, probably by the end of the year, man. You're moving pretty quick. Thanks for coming on today. I hope to have you on again, and I wish you the best in the rest of the year of racing. Hope to see you pushing to that top 5, man.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Huge thanks to Rick Elzinga for coming on. He's a humble young kid that's going to be a big name in the MX2 class soon, so I'm glad we could talk to him. Let's get into today's Moto News. It's brought to you by Sweet Life CBD. Sweet Life has some of the best CBD products on the planet. All of it's grown in the USA, THC-free. They got gummies, oils, topicals, anything you'll need to get rid of pain, they got it. Head to GetSweetLife.com or click the link in the description. Use code TMN for 20% off your order. All right, the first story of the day is regarding Red Bull KTM's and the newly crowned Southwick winner, Tom Vialle, and his crazy crash at Washougal. Now, we didn't see it on the broadcast. In fact, all they showed was that Vialle was off the track and heading to the Alpine Star Medical Unit, so we were left on kind of a cliffhanger, no answers, no information. And even a couple days after the race, they kind of stayed silent on it, but here's the newly found clip of Vialle's nasty crash. I'm glad somebody caught that crash because that was awful. That was just a horrible crash, but it could have been really bad. Luckily, according to Red Bull KTM and Vialle, he is okay after that crash. Here's what Vialle had to say in a post-race statement regarding his health. Quote, "I was really disappointed not to be able to race in the second moto today after falling in the first one. I haven't done any major damage, but I was banged up in what was a really big crash for me. I'm kind of lucky now that we have a break with 2 weekends off, so I will have time to heal up and look ahead to Unadilla." I'm so happy to hear Tom Vialle's okay. He's had kind of a rough entrance into the American Motocross Racing Series. It seems he can't catch a break this year, but he's had some ups and downs. He's had some bad luck. Hopefully he can spin that around. Luckily he's not hurt. I think had he not missed any rounds or motos, he'd still be in the championship talk, but unfortunately he missed out in a couple, so too many points out. Hopefully he performs like his regular self in these final rounds, Dilla, Budds Creek, and Ironman. I'd love to see him find his MXGP flow over here. On to our second story of the day, and it's what we've all been waiting for, confirmation that Eli Tomac will return in 2024. Late last night, Star Yamaha made the announcement that Eli Tomac and the team signed a contract extension through 2024 and that Tomac will be racing the full Super Motocross Championship. Star Yamaha team manager Jeremy Coker said in the announcement, quote, "We couldn't be happier to have Eli on board for next year. It definitely was a gut punch at Denver to have the championship taken away that way. We were hoping that Eli would come back. I don't think anyone would fault him for calling it a career with what he has accomplished. But we're happy to see that Eli still has that fire and can't wait to go racing. There's definitely some unfinished business, and we look forward to next season." Eli Tomac also had something to say in the announcement. He said, quote, "Well, first off, I'd like to say the end of Eli Tomac racing a motorcycle was not the second to last round of 2023. So with that, I'm excited to announce that I've signed for another racing season with the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing team. My recovery has been going very well and is ahead of schedule in terms of the protocol. I believe I will be back on the motorcycle around the 6-month mark in preparation for the 2024 racing season. The motorcycle and team were great last season. We were so close to the championship, but accidents happen, and that's racing. I'm eager to get another shot at competing for the championship." I think it's fair to say we were all moto fans were relieved after hearing this announcement. He had us for a little while after he kind of disappeared off the face of the planet. Not on Instagram, not in the news, not nothing, just kind of stayed silent and did his thing, but he's known for that, so... But anyway, I'm glad to see he put it in ink. He will be back in 2024 for the full year. Hopefully he has what it takes to beat Jet and Sexton and Kenny in Supercross if he's better than he was this year. In the end, I just can't wait to see what Eli has in 2024. All right, the final story of the day is regarding factory Husqvarna MX2 rider Kay De Wolf and his recent injury. In Lommel, De Wolf raced the qualifying race on Saturday and finished 6th, which isn't too bad overall, but on race day, he did have a small crash, which was enough to knock him out of contention. He ended up pulling out of the first race and not entering the second. It has been a tricky 6 weeks for Kay De Wolf, who was at the forefront of the fight for the World Championship a few weeks ago, and he will now take the necessary time to allow his body to heal. Although the team didn't fully explain his injury, if it was new or if it was just compounded with his ankle that was already injured, but they did say he will sit out at least the next GP. I'm sure they'll give out more information with time, but that's all we know so far. Nissan Husqvarna factory racing team manager Rasmus Jorgensen said, quote, "It has been a turbulent year for us. There were superb highs like the Grand Prix win that Kay took in Latvia, and now we are experiencing the tough side of the sport. Kay will take the time for his battered and bruised body to heal, then he will return when he is ready to put his FC250 back in the box." It really sucks to see Kay De Wolf get all this ripped away from him and suffer like this, but hey, it is part of the sport. Same thing with Tomac. It happens, but it's better for him to take the time to heal than push through the injury and further injure himself, so we wish Kay the best and hope to see him lining up in MX2 again soon. Well, that's all the news I have for you guys today. I'm so thankful for Rick Elzinga coming back on today. He's an awesome young kid. If you didn't watch the full interview, I know you guys skip it sometimes. Watch the full interview. He's a wicked awesome kid and has a bright future, so I'm glad he was on. Thank you all for watching if you're on YouTube. Subscribe if you're on Spotify. Follow. Go snag a magazine if you want to support us. Go support our sponsor, Sweet Life CBD, using our code. Thank you guys for all watching, and I'll see you in the next one.